Tom Walker yawned as he guided the mining vessel through the asteroid belt. Another day, another load of rock to scan for precious metals. Life as a deep space miner paid well enough, but the excitement had worn off years ago. Coffee. Anna Miller appeared at his side, holding out a steaming cup. Thanks. Tom took the cup, his eyes never leaving the view screen. Anything worth stopping for? Anna checked her scanner. Not yet. Just the usual iron and nickel. Nothing valuable enough to. She stopped mid-sentence, frowning at her display. What is it? Tom asked, suddenly alert. I'm picking up something strange. Anna adjusted the scanner settings. It's big, about 200 meters long. Metal composition. But the readings don't match anything in our database. Tom's heartbeat quickened. A ship. Maybe. Anna looked up, eyes wide. But it's not broadcasting any identification signal. Tom changed course, steering toward the mysterious object. As they drew closer, both miners fell silent. Floating in the void between two large asteroids was a vessel unlike anything they had ever seen. It was sleek and dark, with a surface that seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it. The hull had no visible seams, as if it had been poured as a single piece. No markings, no windows, no external equipment. Just a smooth, unbroken surface that curved into an elegant, almost organic shape. Is that man-made? Tom whispered. Anna shook her head slowly. I don't think it's man-anything. First contact. Tom's voice was barely audible. Maybe. Anna checked her instruments again. No life signs that I can detect. Tom activated the ship's communication system. Unknown vessel. This is mining ship Aurora. Do you copy? Silence answered him. We should call this in, Anna said. This is way above our pay grade. Tom nodded and opened a channel to Earth Defense Force headquarters. Within minutes, they received orders to maintain position and wait for an EDF vessel to arrive. 6 hours later, the EDF cruiser Sentinel dropped out of faster-than-light travel nearby. Captain James Reed wasted no time in hailing the miners. Aurora, this is Captain Reed of the EDF Sentinel. We're taking over from here. Good work finding this, whatever it is. Tom's voice came back over the comm. Captain, this thing is like nothing I've ever seen. It's just been sitting there. No movement, no signals. We'll handle it from here, Reed assured him. Stand by for retrieval of your sensor data. After downloading all information from the mining vessel, Reed ordered the Aurora to maintain a safe distance while his team investigated. Dr. Jones, what do you make of it? Reed asked his science officer. Dr. Linda Jones studied the scans with fascination. It's definitely artificial, but the material composition is impossible. The alloy doesn't match anything in our database, and there are energy readings from inside, but I can't identify the source. Life signs? Reed asked. None that our sensors can detect, Jones replied, but something is generating power in there. Reed made his decision. Prepare a boarding team. Full environmental suits and weapons ready, but set to non-lethal. Let's not start an interstellar incident if we can help it. An hour later, Reed led his team through the airlock and onto the mysterious vessel. Their helmet lights cut through the darkness, revealing smooth, curved corridors that seemed to flow from one section to another without joints or wells. It's like being inside a living organism, whispered Lieutenant Park as he ran a gloved hand along the wall. Focus, people, Reed ordered. Jones, which way to the energy source? Dr. Jones consulted her scanner. Straight ahead. About 50 meters, then. This can't be right. She frowned at her device and tapped it. What's wrong? Reed asked. The internal layout doesn't match the exterior dimensions. It's like the space inside is folding in on itself somehow. As they moved deeper into the ship, Reed noticed something strange. There were no control panels, no screens, no obvious technology of any kind. just smooth, flowing corridors that occasionally widened into empty chambers. "Where's the bridge?" "The engine room." Lieutenant Park voiced what they were all thinking. "How does anyone control this thing?" "Maybe they don't need controls like we do," Jones suggested. "Maybe the ship responds to something else. Thoughts, perhaps, or some form of direct neural interface." They continued forward until they reached a large circular chamber at what seemed to be the center of the ship. In the middle floated a crystalline structure about the size of a basketball, glowing with a soft blue light. "That's our energy source," Jones said, moving closer. "It's putting out more power than a nuclear reactor, but I don't understand how." Anna Miller, who had been invited along as one of the discoverers, stepped forward in awe. "It's beautiful," she whispered. Before anyone could stop her, Anna reached out, her gloved hand moving toward the crystal. "Miller, don't." Reed began, but it was too late. As her fingers touched the crystal's surface, a pulse of energy surged through the chamber. The lights in their suits flickered, and their comms crackled with static. The crystal's glow intensified, and patterns of light began to flow along the walls, ceiling, and floor. Anna gasped and stumbled backward. It spoke to me," she said, her voice trembling. "What do you mean, it spoke to you?" Reed demanded. "Not with words," Anna explained, eyes wide. "With images, feelings. It's alive, Captain. The ship is alive." Before Reed could respond, a holographic display materialized in the air above the crystal. Strange symbols flowed across it, then transformed into English letters. "Hello." The team stared in shocked silence. "I-HAVB and waiting." "Who are you?" Reed asked cautiously. "What are you?" The text shifted again. "I am ship. I was not built. I grew. I evolved. From dust, between stars, over millions of years." "That's impossible," Jones whispered. "Evolution does not require biology, only time and energy." Anna stepped forward again. "Why are you here?" "In our solar system. Hiding. Running. Others hunting my kind." Reed's tactical mind immediately shifted to defense. "Others? Who's hunting you?" The holographic display dimmed momentarily, then brightened with new text. "They come. Now. They detected my awakening." "Who's coming?" Reed demanded. "Empire. VX Imperium. They destroy all they cannot control." The ship's internal lights pulsed with urgency. "They are here." At that moment, Reed's communicator buzzed with an incoming emergency message from the Sentinel. "Captain, we've detected multiple ships dropping out of FTL at the edge of the solar system. Massive energy signatures, unlike anything we've ever seen." Reed looked at the crystal, then at his team, his face grim. "How many?" he asked. "Hundreds, sir, and they're headed straight for us." The holographic display pulsed one final message. "Prepare." And the hunt had begun. Captain Reed's face hardened as he stared at the holographic display. The incoming fleet was massive. Hundreds of ships in tight formation, moving with purpose and precision. "Everyone back to the Sentinel. Now," Reed ordered. "Miller, you too." Anna shook her head, her eyes never leaving the crystal. "Captain, I can feel it. The ship is afraid." "Miller, that's an order," Reed said firmly. As the team hurried back toward the airlock, the mysterious vessel suddenly hummed to life. Lights pulsed along the corridors, guiding their way. When they reached the airlock, they found it had changed, expanded to allow for faster evacuation. "It's helping us," Jones said in wonder. Once aboard the Sentinel, Reed opened a channel to Earth Defense Command. "Admiral Wilson, we have a situation. A large alien fleet has entered the solar system and appears to be heading straight for our position." Admiral Wilson's face appeared on screen, tension evident in her features. "We've detected them, Captain. All Earth defenses are on high alert. What's your assessment of the unknown vessel you discovered? It's sentient, sir. It appears to have evolved naturally rather than being constructed. It's communicated that these incoming ships belong to something called the Vex Imperium, and they're hunting ships like this one. Wilson's eyebrows rose. Evolved ships. That's hard to believe, Captain. I know how it sounds, sir, but... Reed was interrupted by Lieutenant Park. Captain, the alien fleet has halted just beyond Mars orbit. They're broadcasting a message on all frequencies. Put it through, Reed ordered. The view screen flickered, and a new face appeared. The alien was humanoid, but clearly not human. Its skin was pale blue with faint markings that looked like circuit patterns. Eyes too large for its narrow face gleamed with a cold intelligence. "This is Admiral Krell of the Vex Imperium," the alien said in perfect English. "We come seeking the void seed that is hidden in your system. Surrender it immediately." Reed exchanged glances with his officers before responding. "This is Captain James Reed of the Earth Defense Force. We don't know what a void seed is. We've discovered an unusual vessel, but it was found in our solar system, which places it under Earth jurisdiction." Admiral Krell's expression didn't change, but his voice grew colder. "You are mistaken, human. The entity you call a vessel is a dangerous anomaly. It is one of several self-evolving constructs that have appeared throughout the galaxy. They pose a significant threat to all organized civilizations. It hasn't threatened us," Reed countered. "It will," Krell said simply. "These entities cannot be controlled or predicted. They evolve in ways that defy the natural order. The Vex Imperium has spent centuries hunting them for the safety of all." Anna Miller, who had been listening intently, suddenly spoke up. "That's not true. It's afraid of you because you destroy what you don't understand." Reed shot her a warning look, but Krell had already noticed her. "Interesting," the alien admiral said. "It appears the seed has already established a connection with one of your kind. This is further evidence of its dangerous nature." "Admiral Krell," Reed said, trying to regain control of the conversation, "this ship was found in Earth's solar system. Under interstellar common law, that makes it our responsibility. We request time to study it properly before any decisions are made." Krell was silent for a moment. "You have 1 Earth hour to surrender the void seed. After that, we will take action to secure it ourselves." The transmission ended abruptly. "Well, that went well," Lieutenant Park muttered. Reed turned to Miller. "You said you can feel the ship. What's it telling you now?" Anna closed her eyes for a moment. "It's showing me images. The Vex have been hunting its kind for centuries. Not because they're dangerous, but because they can't be controlled. The Vex Imperium conquers everything in its path. These evolved ships are the only things they haven't been able to bend to their will." "Can it defend itself?" Reed asked. "It doesn't know," Anna replied. "It's never had to before." Reed opened a channel to Earth again. "Admiral Wilson, I believe the alien fleet's intentions are hostile. Request immediate reinforcements. All available ships are already en route, Captain, but they won't arrive for at least 6 hours." Wilson's expression was grim. "You need to buy us time." Before Reed could respond, Lieutenant Park called out, "Multiple ships breaking formation. They're moving toward us." Reed made a quick decision. "Battle stations. Miller, tell your ship friend that it might want to wake up completely now." Anna closed her eyes, concentrating on her connection to the mysterious vessel. "It understands. It's doing something." Outside, the sleek black ship began to change. Its surface rippled like water, and sections of the hull reconfigured themselves. It moved away from the Sentinel, positioning itself between the Earth ship and the approaching Vex vessels. The lead Vex ship fired a brilliant beam of energy. It struck the evolved ship directly, but instead of damaging it, the beam seemed to be absorbed into its surface. "Incredible," Jones whispered, watching the readings on her console. "It's not just absorbing the energy, it's using it." The evolved ship began to glow with a soft blue light. the same color as the crystal at its core. Then, without warning, it released a pulse of energy that spread outward like a ripple in a pond. When the pulse reached the Vex ships, they simply stopped. Their weapons powered down, and they drifted, seemingly lifeless. "What just happened?" Reed asked, stunned. "It disabled them somehow," Jones replied, checking her readings. "Not destroyed. Just turned them off." Admiral Krell's face appeared on the view screen again, his calm demeanor now replaced with barely controlled rage. "This is your final warning. The seed has revealed its true nature. It cannot be reasoned with or controlled. It defended itself against your attack," Reed pointed out. "It didn't destroy your ships when it could have." "You understand nothing," Krell hissed. "This is merely the beginning of its evolution. Once fully awakened, it will consume your world as it has others." Anna stepped forward. "That's a lie. It's showing me the truth. The Vex are the destroyers. They've conquered hundreds of worlds, enslaved countless species." Krell's eyes narrowed. "You have made your choice then." The transmission cut off. Moments later, the main Vex fleet began to move. Not just a few ships this time, but hundreds, all heading directly toward Earth. "They're bypassing us completely," Park reported, heading straight for the planet. Reed watched in horror as the massive alien armada accelerated toward his homeworld. Earth's orbital defenses were substantial, but nothing that could stand against a force of this size. "Miller," he said quietly, "ask your friend if it has any more tricks up its sleeve." Anna looked at him, her eyes wide with a mix of fear and determination. "It says it does, but it needs me with it." She gestured toward the mysterious ship floating outside. "On board." Reed hesitated only a moment before nodding. "Go, and for God's sake hurry." As Anna prepared to transfer back to the evolved ship, the first wave of Vex vessels reached Earth's outer defense perimeter. Bright flashes lit up space as the battle began. The fate of Earth now rested in the hands of a mining technician and a ship that no one built. Anna floated through the airlock of the evolved ship, her heart pounding. The moment she stepped inside, the walls pulsed with soft blue light, as if welcoming her back. "I'm here," she whispered. "What do you need me to do?" No words appeared this time. Instead, the corridor in front of her morphed, opening into a path that led straight to the central chamber where the crystal floated. As Anna approached it, the crystal glowed more intensely. "Earth is under attack," she said. "Can you help us?" The crystal pulsed once, and suddenly Anna felt a tingling sensation spreading from her fingertips up her arms. The sensation wasn't painful. It felt like gentle electricity flowing through her body. "What are you doing?" she asked, her voice shaking slightly. Images flashed through her mind. Stars being born, dust gathering over millions of years, slowly forming into complex structures. She saw other ships like this one, drifting through the emptiness of space, feeding on radiation and dark matter, growing and learning. "You want me to understand you," Anna realized. The crystal brightened in confirmation. More images came. The Vex ships hunting down the evolved vessels, capturing some, destroying others. She felt the ship's fear, its loneliness, and its hope when it found Earth's solar system, a place to hide, to rest. Then, without warning, Anna felt herself moving toward the crystal. Not physically. Her body remained in place, but her consciousness seemed to be drawn into the glowing object. For a brief moment, she panicked, but then a sense of calm washed over her. She wasn't being absorbed. She was being connected. "Oh," she breathed as understanding flooded her mind. "You need a partner." Through their new connection, Anna understood that the ship, which she instinctively named Phoenix, couldn't reach its full potential alone. It had evolved to work in harmony with a conscious mind, to form a symbiotic relationship that benefited both. With sudden clarity, Anna knew what to do. She opened herself fully to the connection, and Phoenix responded immediately. Outside, the ship transformed. Its smooth black surface rippled and shifted, extending outward to form a perfect sphere around itself and the Sentinel. As the sphere completed, the first wave of Vex weapons fire hit it and dissipated harmlessly. On the Sentinel's bridge, Captain Reed watched in awe as the mysterious shield protected them. "What's happening?" he asked Dr. Jones. She shook her head, staring at her readings. "It's creating some kind of energy field that's absorbing all incoming attacks. But that's not all." She looked up at Reed, her eyes wide. "The field is expanding. It's growing to encompass Earth's orbit." Reed watched the tactical display as the shield spread outward at impossible speed, soon covering the entire planet and its orbital defenses. The Vex weapons fire continued, but none penetrated the shield. His communication console beeped. "Captain Reed," came Anna's voice, sounding strangely distant. "Phoenix and I are buying you time." "Phoenix?" Reed questioned. "The ship, that's its name now. Listen carefully. Phoenix can't hold this shield forever. We need to understand more about what we're facing." Reed nodded, though Anna couldn't see him. "What do you need from us?" "Send Dr. Jones and Tom Walker over. And bring every scientist Earth can spare. We have work to do." 3 days later, Earth's greatest scientific minds had transformed the Sentinel into a floating research station. In the center of it all was Phoenix, with Anna serving as its voice and interpreter. Dr. Robert Green, Earth's leading xenobiologist, stared at the holographic display showing Phoenix's internal structure. "It's nothing like our technology," he said. "It doesn't use weapons as we understand them. It manipulates the fundamental forces of physics." Tom Walker, who had been working alongside the scientists, pointed to a section of the display. "Look here. The ship's outer layer isn't just armor. It's like a sensory organ. It can feel changes in gravity, radiation, even quantum fluctuations." Dr. Jones nodded excitedly. "And it adapts. See how its molecular structure has changed since the Vex attack. It's evolving in response to the threat." Captain Reed, who had been listening silently, finally spoke. "That's all fascinating, but can it help us fight the Vex? That shield won't hold forever." As if on cue, the lights dimmed briefly, and Anna entered the room. Everyone turned to look at her. There was something different about her now, a quiet confidence, an otherworldly awareness in her eyes. "The shield is holding," she said, "but Phoenix is right. We need to do more than defend. The Vex are sending more ships. Hundreds more." "What does Phoenix suggest?" Reed asked. Anna smiled slightly. "Phoenix doesn't want to fight. That's not what it evolved to do, but it will protect us if we show it how." "Show it how to fight?" Dr. Green asked, confused. "No," Anna replied. "Show it why fighting is sometimes necessary. It needs to understand humanity, our history, our struggles, our will to survive despite overwhelming odds." Reed nodded slowly. "So we need to educate it." "Yes," Anna said. "And it will educate us in return." Over the next few days, while the Vex fleet gathered beyond the shield, the scientists and military personnel worked tirelessly. They fed Phoenix information about Earth's history, culture, and scientific achievements. In return, Phoenix shared its knowledge of the cosmos, secrets of physics and energy that humans had barely begun to understand. Through Anna, they learned that Phoenix was one of many cosmic entities that had evolved naturally in the void between stars. These beings were rare, perhaps only a few dozen in the entire galaxy, and most kept to themselves, drifting through the emptiness, observing but never interfering. Phoenix was different. Younger than the others, more curious, it had come too close to inhabited worlds and attracted the attention of the Vex Imperium. When the Vex tried to capture it, Phoenix fled, eventually finding its way to Earth's solar system. The Vex wanted to study it, Tom said during one briefing session, to learn its secrets and use them for their conquests. Anna nodded. "They've captured one of Phoenix's kind before. Everything they know about faster-than-light travel, energy weapons, shield technology. It's all stolen from an evolved ship they captured centuries ago." Reed's expression hardened. So they're not just conquerors. They're thieves too. Yes, Anna confirmed. And they're afraid of Phoenix because they can't control it like they did the other. That ship was damaged, weakened. Phoenix is at full strength. And now, she paused, looking around at the humans gathered before her. Now it has us. Dr. Green leaned forward. What happens next, Anna? The Vex aren't going to wait forever. Anna's eyes seemed to glow momentarily with the same blue light as Phoenix's crystal. We stop running. We face them. Reed studied her carefully. How? Even with this shield, we're still outgunned. Not anymore, Anna said with quiet confidence. Phoenix has been learning, adapting. It's ready to show the Vex something they've never seen before. What's that? Tom asked. Anna's smile was both beautiful and terrible. What happens when an evolved ship chooses to fight back? The warning came at dawn. Earth's long-range sensors detected a massive surge of energy as hundreds of new Vex ships dropped out of faster-than-light travel, joining the fleet already gathered beyond Phoenix's shield. Captain Reed stared at the tactical display, his face grim. They've tripled their numbers. Admiral Wilson's voice came through the comm system. Captain, our intelligence suggests they're preparing for a coordinated attack. All Earth defenses are on high alert. But honestly, she paused. If that shield fails, we don't stand a chance. Reed nodded. Understood, Admiral. We're working on a plan. He ended the transmission and turned to where Anna stood nearby. Her eyes closed as she communicated silently with Phoenix. Well? Reed asked. Anna opened her eyes. Phoenix says the Vex have brought specialized weapons, the kind they used to capture the other evolved ship centuries ago. They're designed to disrupt Phoenix's molecular structure. Can Phoenix withstand them? Anna hesitated. It doesn't know. This shield is already using most of its energy. Tom Walker, who had been monitoring the Vex fleet's movements, spoke up. They're forming attack groups. Looks like they plan to hit the shield at multiple points simultaneously. Dr. Jones looked up from her console. If they break through, they'll head straight for Earth's population centers. Standard conquest tactics. Reed took a deep breath. Then we need to take the fight to them. Anna, can Phoenix do more than just defend? Before Anna could answer, the entire ship shuddered. Outside, brilliant beams of purple energy struck Phoenix's shield at 12 different points. They're testing our defenses, Tom said. Another barrage hit, stronger this time. The lights flickered, and several consoles sparked. Anna gasped, clutching her chest. Phoenix is in pain, she whispered. Reed made a quick decision. We need to move. Now, can Phoenix still fly? Anna nodded, her face pale. Yes, but... Then let's get out of orbit. Draw them away from Earth. Anna closed her eyes again, communing with the ship. After a moment, she nodded. Phoenix agrees. The shield surrounding Earth began to shrink, pulling back to cover just Phoenix and the Sentinel, which remained docked to the evolved vessel. Then, with a burst of speed that pushed everyone against the nearest wall, Phoenix shot away from Earth, heading toward the outer solar system. As Reed had hoped, most of the Vex fleet followed, their massive ships turning to pursue the fleeing Phoenix. It's working, Reed said, watching the tactical display. They want Phoenix more than they want Earth. Anna's expression remained troubled. They're still firing those disruptor weapons. Another blast hit the shield, and this time Phoenix visibly shuddered. The smooth black hull rippled, as if struggling to maintain its shape. Anna cried out, dropping to her knees. Tom rushed to her side. What is it? He asked, helping her up. Phoenix, she gasped. It's dying. Tears streamed down her face. I can feel its pain. Those weapons are breaking it apart at the molecular level. Reed's mind raced. Can it fight back? It must have some way to defend itself. It could, Anna said quietly. But it's afraid. Afraid of what? Tom asked. Of becoming like the Vex, of using its power to destroy. Anna looked up at Reed, her eyes pleading. Phoenix evolved to explore, to learn, to grow, not to kill. Reed knelt beside her. Anna, listen to me. Sometimes fighting isn't about destroying. It's about protecting what matters. Phoenix came to us for help, right? Well, now we need its help. Earth needs its help. Anna stared at him for a long moment, then nodded. She closed her eyes once more, her face a mask of concentration, as she communicated Reed's words to Phoenix. Outside, another volley of disruptor beams struck Phoenix's shield. This time, the shield flickered visibly, sections of it failing before reforming. We can't take much more of this, Dr. Jones warned, checking her instruments. Shield integrity is down to 43%. Reed watched the Vex fleet drawing closer, their weapons charging for another barrage. Anna, we're running out of time. Anna's eyes snapped open suddenly, glowing with the same blue light as Phoenix's crystal. Phoenix understands now, she said, her voice overlaid with a strange harmonic. It will fight, not to destroy, but to protect. The ship seemed to pulse beneath them, and Reed felt a strange sensation, as if reality itself was bending. Outside, Phoenix began to change. Its sleek black surface flowed like liquid, reshaping itself. The ship grew larger, extensions forming and branching out like a living thing. The blue glow intensified, no longer just coming from the crystal at its core, but from the entire structure. What's happening? Tom asked, staring out the viewport in awe. Phoenix is evolving, Anna replied, her voice still carrying that strange jewel quality. Drawing energy from nearby stars, reconfiguring itself, becoming what it needs to be. The transformation continued for several minutes while the Vex fleet held position, seemingly as stunned by the display as the humans were. When it finally stopped, Phoenix had nearly tripled in size, its form now resembling something between a ship and a vast, intricate crystal formation. Shield integrity now at 100%, Dr. Jones reported, checking her readings with disbelief. No, wait, 200%. That's impossible. Anna stood, her movements fluid and confident. Phoenix wants to end this without destruction, if possible. It suggests we take a message directly to the Vex commander. Reed raised an eyebrow. You mean surrender? No, Anna smiled. Phoenix means we should go to their flagship, now. Reed shook his head. That's suicide. They'd destroy us the moment we came within range. They can try, Anna said simply. Before Reed could argue further, Phoenix accelerated again, this time moving so fast that the stars blurred around them. The inertial dampeners struggled to compensate, and everyone grabbed onto the nearest secure object. In seconds, they were in the heart of the Vex fleet, directly in front of a massive ship at least 10 times the size of any other vessel. Admiral Krell's flagship. Now what? Reed asked, looking at the enemies surrounding them on all sides. Anna walked to the center of the bridge, directly under the spot where Phoenix's crystal now extended down from the ceiling like a massive stalactite. Now Phoenix shows the Vex what it truly means to evolve. The crystal pulsed once, twice, 3 times. Outside, a ripple of blue energy expanded outward from Phoenix in a perfect sphere, washing over the Vex ships one by one. As the energy touched each vessel, it simply stopped. Engines offline, weapons powerless, even life support systems barely functioning. The entire Vex fleet hung motionless in space. Reed stared at the tactical display in disbelief. It disabled them all, with one pulse. Not disabled, Anna explained. Phoenix didn't destroy anything. It just paused them, like pressing a universal pause button on space-time itself. On the main view screen, Admiral Krell's face appeared, his features twisted with rage and fear. What have you done? He demanded. Anna stepped forward. We've shown mercy, Admiral. Something your Imperium knows nothing about. This changes nothing, Krell snarled. The Imperium will never stop hunting the abominations like your ship. Anna smiled, a knowing look in her still glowing eyes. I think it's time the Imperium learned the truth about its own power, don't you, Admiral? Krell's expression faltered for the first time. You know nothing. Phoenix knows everything, Anna replied. And now, so do all your people. Behind Krell, alarms began to sound. An officer rushed into view, whispering urgently in the Admiral's ear. Krell's face drained of color. What have you done? He whispered. We've shared the truth, Anna said simply. That's all. And across the vast Vex fleet, the seeds of revolution had begun to sprout. The silence on Krell's flagship was broken by alarms blaring from every direction. The Admiral's face had turned from blue to almost white as reports flooded in from across his vast fleet. Impossible, he whispered, staring at Anna with a mixture of fear and hatred. What have you done to my ships, my people? Anna stood calmly, the blue glow in her eyes reflecting Phoenix's power. We've done nothing but share the truth, Admiral. Phoenix has simply broadcast what it knows to every ship and colony in the Vex Imperium. On the screens around them, chaos unfolded. Vex soldiers were turning against their officers. On some ships, entire crews had mutinied. On others, subject species long oppressed by the Imperium were breaking free of their restraints. Captain Reed stepped forward. What truth exactly did Phoenix share? Anna turned to him, her expression soft despite the power flowing through her. Everything. That the Vex leadership has been lying to their people for centuries. That their technology, the foundation of their entire empire, was stolen from another evolved ship they captured and tortured long ago. Krell slammed his fist on a console. These are lies. No, Anna replied quietly. Phoenix found the memories of its captured sibling buried deep in the code of your ship's systems. It was still alive in there, Admiral. Fragmented, suffering, but alive. And now it's free. On the tactical display, Reed watched as more than half the Vex fleet began to move away, breaking formation, heading in different directions. They're leaving, Tom observed. Where are they going? Home, Anna said. To free their worlds. The Imperium was built on lies and stolen power. Now that the truth is known, it's falling apart. Dr. Jones, who had been monitoring communications, looked up in surprise. They're requesting asylum. Dozens of Vex ships are asking Earth for protection from their own government. Reed raised an eyebrow at Anna. Is this what Phoenix planned all along? Anna nodded. Phoenix doesn't destroy. It transforms, changes, evolves. And now it's helped the Vex evolve too. Krell, seeing his empire crumbling before his eyes, made one last desperate move. He pulled out a weapon and aimed it directly at Anna. I will not allow this. Before he could fire, Phoenix pulsed once more. The weapon in Krell's hand dissolved into dust. It's over, Admiral, Reed said firmly. Your empire is finished. Not just the empire, Anna added, her voice carrying a hint of sadness. Phoenix has found something else, something the Vex leadership has been hiding for centuries. She closed her eyes, and a holographic display appeared in the center of the bridge. It showed a massive space station hidden deep in Vex territory. Inside were dozens of crystal structures, similar to the one at Phoenix's core, but dimmer, weaker. More evolved ships, Reed realized. Captured and imprisoned. Yes, Anna confirmed. The source of all Vex power. They've been draining these beings for energy, stealing their knowledge, using them as batteries for their war machines. Krell's shoulders slumped in defeat. He knew there was no recovering from this revelation. 3 months later, Earth had become the center of a new interstellar coalition. The former Vex Imperium had fractured into dozens of independent systems, many of them now seeking peaceful relations with Earth and each other. In orbit around Earth, Phoenix floated serenely, now accompanied by 5 other evolved ships that had been freed from Vex captivity. They formed a protective ring around the planet, their crystal cores glowing with renewed energy. On the observation deck of the newly constructed Space Command Headquarters, Captain Reed, now Admiral Reed, stood with Tom, Dr. Jones, and several Earth officials, watching as Anna approached. She had changed in these months. Her connection with Phoenix had transformed her in subtle ways. She moved with grace and purpose, and her eyes still carried hints of that ethereal blue glow. "The Coalition representatives are ready for the meeting," she informed them. "The former Vex colonies are eager to establish trade agreements." Reed nodded. "And the freed ships? How are they adapting?" "Healing," Anna replied. "Slowly. They were prisoners for centuries, their consciousness fragmented and abused. But they're recovering, learning to trust again." Tom, who had been studying the evolved ships intensely, asked the question that had been on everyone's mind. "Will more come, now that they know Earth is a safe place for them?" Anna smiled. "Yes, Phoenix has been calling to others, those that have hidden themselves in the darkest corners of the galaxy. And," she paused, her expression brightening, "it brought something else with it when it came here, something no one noticed until now." "What's that?" Dr. Jones asked. "Seeds," Anna replied. "Dormant particles of evolved matter, waiting for the right minds to connect with." Reed's eyes widened. "You mean there could be more ships like Phoenix?" "Not exactly like Phoenix," Anna clarified. "Each evolved ship is unique, shaped by its experiences and its partner. Phoenix chose me. The others will choose their own partners, minds that resonate with them." "And then what?" Tom asked. Anna looked out at the stars. "Then we explore. The galaxy is vast, and there's so much to learn. The evolved ships never wanted to be weapons. They sought understanding, partnership with species that will use their abilities wisely." Dr. Jones, ever the scientist, couldn't contain her excitement. The knowledge they could share, physics, energy manipulation, space-time engineering, it would transform our civilization. "It already has," Reed pointed out, gesturing to the view screen showing ships from a dozen formerly Vex-controlled worlds docking at Earth's new spaceport. 3 months ago, we were alone in the galaxy. Now we're at the center of a new interstellar community." Anna nodded. "Phoenix says this is just the beginning. The Vex used fear and force to build their empire, and it fell apart at the first challenge. What we're building is based on truth and cooperation. It will last." Tom looked thoughtful. "You know, when we first found Phoenix, I never imagined it would end like this. A ship no one built, bringing down an entire empire." "Not bringing down," Anna corrected gently. "Transforming. That's what Phoenix does, what all the evolved ships do. They don't destroy. They change things for the better." Outside, Phoenix pulsed with blue light, as if in agreement. The other evolved ships responded in kind, their lights forming a beautiful, synchronized pattern against the backdrop of stars. Reed smiled. "So what's next for you and Phoenix?" Anna's eyes gleamed. "We've been talking about that. There are more evolved ships out there, still hiding, still afraid. And there are more seeds to find, more partners to connect with." She looked at each of them in turn. "Phoenix is asking if you'd like to come with us." Reed exchanged glances with Tom and Dr. Jones. The answer was written on all their faces. "When do we leave?" he asked. Anna smiled. "As soon as you're ready." And so, as the former Vex Imperium continued its peaceful transformation, Phoenix and its human crew prepared for their next journey. The ship that no one built had not only annihilated an empire, it had helped create something better in its place. As Phoenix departed Earth orbit, its crystal core pulsing with energy and purpose, Anna felt the ship's joy resonating through their connection. This was just the beginning of a journey that would span the stars and change the galaxy forever. No one had built this ship, but together with humanity, it had built a future no one could have imagined.